I was 17, Clinton was the president. I thought, hey, serve my country, get money for college. Joined the National Guard, actually. Didn't know it was going to be the International Guard.
On my very first days, 140 degrees, I crawled across the desert on my hands and my knees. The bullets started flying. I had to stop and think. I was only making $6 an hour. Yeah, I was only making $6 an hour. They don't pay overtime in the Army. So, Father, forgive us for what we must do. You forgive us and we'll forgive you. We'll forgive each other till we both turn blue and we'll whistle like we're fishing up the hill.
For the folks that aren't going or don't know about it, can you say a few words about the event coming up?
Iraq Vets Against the War is going to go to Washington, D.C. and confront the powers that be, the powers that claim the right to send them to Afghanistan and Iraq, and on a total lie. And on their return has treated them more like criminals than heroes.
Well, I was still in the Army when Winter Soldier happened in 1971. I had to serve until June, and I remember reading about it, and it affected me. I mean, I was already home from Vietnam, and so it was. The guys that went to Winter Soldier said things that nobody else was saying. Things that I knew happened, things that I saw happen, and some things that I did myself. And I'm expecting the same thing this time.
Aaron Hughes from Chicago.
And I heard that you were kind of the genesis of this Winter Soldier. What got you to come up with this idea? Is that true?
It is kind of true. About a year and a half ago, Harold Fletcher, a friend of mine, artist, I had spent some time doing a residency program with him in the summer in New York. He said, hey, that Winter Soldier film, have you ever thought about getting together with some guys and if that could be something of interest to you guys and redoing it? And I was like, no, but that sounds like something I should look into. And so I, checked the film out and watched the film and started over a year ago. When we protested the war last year, I started trying to get the word out that, like, hey, this is something that we need to do as an organization to build our organization and get the word out and start changing this history that exists. We grew the team out to a whole Winter Soldier team and committee, and now there's, I think, 12 members on the team, and there's a whole organization that's involved with the building of it. We're really, providing a space for veterans to have a voice, changing the political discourse around the war. It's changing from generals, politicians, media pundits to the soldiers that were walking the streets of Iraq, walking the streets of Afghanistan, driving the roads of Iraq, driving the roads of Afghanistan, breaking through doors in Iraq, breaking through doors in Afghanistan. And I think those voices are the ones that the American people need to hear. And so that's kind of what's going on. And, it's a part of a whole history. I mean, Bentley Butler, and after the end of World War I, he came back, and there was a whole resistance movement to the military at that time, and he wrote War is a Racket. Vietnam veterans get home, they hold Winter Soldier, the first investigation. So this is a history that we're continuing, and we're trying to really rewrite history so people know that anytime our country invests in some type of adventure like this, that they're going to have to deal with veterans coming home and resisting and dissent. And the fact that we're going to come home and we're going to fight this government and let them know what's really going on in the war, and that these mythologies that they're feeding the people of the United States aren't going to go. So that's kind of what the Winter Soldier conception is, and where it came from, and where it's at now, I guess.
Why did you join Iraq Veterans Against the War?
Just the circular logic and just all the lies that kept on coming out over and over and over again after pretty much the General Petraeus report, when that came out, and I just realized no one's ever going to end it unless we do. It's kind of like Vietnam was, so that's what got me into it.
Did you believe what was going on when you were sent over there? Or?
I didn't really know. I don't think anybody really knew. I didn't know it was going to be a 5-year occupation where, you know, thousands of people were going to die.
And when did you start questioning the reasons that you were sent over there?
When I was there, I was pretty gung-ho and patriotic before I went. When I got there and I saw some of the idiocy that was going on around me, I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't come up with the reason why we were there. I thought and thought and thought, but I couldn't come up with a reason. And then on my base, there were 3 mess halls. There were 3 chow halls, multi-million-dollar chow halls each. Why they need 3 chow halls, and to give these millions of dollars to these contractors to do a job that Army people can do, I don't know.
Well, another Humvee hit an IED, and therein the damage it did. Another young soldier that can't hold a lover or play patty cake with his kids. The quick reaction force gets them out of the field and back to the States to get buried or healed. And the sins of the father live on in the son, and they're still coming back from the war.
Goodness gracious. 30 years plus later, another group of veterans would be having a winter soldier for a military adventure based upon lies and total disregard for the people of the land that gets invaded, and total disregard for the American people whose children are fighting, dying, being made crippled, suffering moral, social, intellectual, and quite frankly, just plain sanity questions. I tell people that Vietnam was bad, but Iraq is worse. What is good, what is great, is the fact that veterans, men and women who have served, are standing up again. And they know what's going to happen to them. They saw what happened to Kerry, a genuine hero. Runs for president, and he's swift-boated. Unbelievable. Who would have thought that a hero like that would be abused like that? So they know, and one of the main things that they held against him was the Winter Soldier investigation. But there is something in terms of your souls, you Iraq vets who are going to be testifying. And that is that you're setting yourself free from this culture of death, which says that you're supposed to keep your mouth shut and allow another generation to be sold down the river. What speaks to your superior morality is that you've seen what can happen for speaking the truth to power, and you're not afraid. And you're also not waiting until it's a question of when you're going to die, but when it can actually mean difference to the people that are dying and being raped and killed and tortured in Iraq and other places.
How do they expect a man to see the things that I have come back and be the same? The things I've done that I regret, the things I've seen I won't forget. For this life and so many more, and I'm trying to find my way home. The child inside me is long dead and gone, somewhere between lost and alone, trying to find my way home.